Hey there, boys and girls of the YouTube world. Today, the Duff dog and I are going to get this wonderful green 67 to 72 Chevy pickup. Specifically, I think it's a 69 or 70. I can't tell the difference in the two. And I don't care to learn because, in my opinion, which is very humble, and every opinions are like, Duff's going wild. They don't matter. I don't like the bow tie on the hood, and I don't like the band through the middle of the egg crate grill shell. And then also with the 71 72s, you get 5-lug and disc brakes. 67 and 68, you get small back window and no marker lights in 67, and that nice flat hood. Let's take a look at this thing. Before that, I'll tell you the backstory. Stupak, one of my scrap guys, called and said, hey, cleaning out a yard, got some junk, you interested? So $400 he dropped this thing off. I've been looking for a 67 to 72 donor for a while, just a parts pickup, because we got the 67 Chevy. We may have another one that we haven't shown. I got the ramp truck, and then I got my 71 Chevy short bed that needs to get out one of these days. But anyway, we got a lot of square bodies and OBS parts, but we don't have any 67 to 72 parts pickups. So we'll put a price and availability in the video description of this thing once we get done with the video. And yeah, we'll sell it, I guess, but I'd rather just keep it around for parts like, hood hinges and bumper brackets and so on and so forth. But anyway, that's how I got here. Stupak. Always pays to know your scrap guy. So like I said, 69s and 70s, they got that. I don't like that. And then they got that band. Not my favorite. It's got the painted bumper. Looks like there's a 98 sticker on it, so that's what, 2011. Carry the potato, I don't know, 26 years ago. Fender's pretty hooeyed right there. It's a C10, meaning it's 2-wheel drive and a half-ton. I think it's got most of the hubcaps. Missing the mirror. Doesn't have the stainless wing windows or the stainless around the windshield, so I think she's pretty much a base model. There's a brake shoe back there and another hubcap. And some Mug root beer, so it can't be that old. Mug ain't been around forever. You can tell it's a farm pickup because every part needed around the farm is on the dash. Somebody already cobbed the heater controls. Hey, there's the mirror down there, though. She's seen some sun. They're always rusty in the cab corners, cab supports, rockers, inner rockers, floors. 67 to 72 Chevy pickups are the rustiest pickups known to man. It's got a little dinger in the door and one in the back of the cab, 2 in the back of the cab. Roof's pretty straight, though. How's the bed floor, Duff? Pretty good? Looks like it's a steel floor. Looks like we really need to clean it out before it gets any more rotten. I can't remember if all these pickups had that trim, so maybe it's a custom deluxe or something with the trim. I don't know. The back end is just, she's hammered out. Just driving by Ray Charles, driving by feel. I feel like that's not factory. So this should be holding the tailgate, but it's not. And I'm guessing the tailgate can never latch because of that. I'm sure the tailgate's in perfect shape. This side's just hammered out as bad. Of course, it's a long box. It does have trailing arms with coil springs. Oh, it's got the overloads on the back. You could get these with leaf springs as well, an option on the Chevrolets. Most of the GMCs had leaf springs, and coil springs were an option. We're missing all the trim except that piece on this side, just rubbed against everything. And this side is pretty much wiped out from front to back. I think they said it's a V8 under the hood. Hood's punched in. Yeah. So there you go. That's why this thing is going to be a parts rig, because the body is hammered out. I mean, you could drive it as is, but if you wanted to fix this thing all perfectly straight, you might as well start with a new pickup. It's got 4 flat tires, and you know how much I hate those, so we're going to grab the old telehandler, pick this thing up, carry it to the shop, pop the wheels and tires off, and either tube them or change them or do something so that it rolls. And we'll see if we can get this thing running apparently for the first time in 26 years. I lied. It's missing that hubcap, and it's got a Ford hubcap back here. Yep, 98. All right, let's clean this thing out a bit. Like I said, this bed floor is gonna get more rusty if we don't clean the bed springs out. And the antenna rod for TV antenna, pine cones, you know, debris. We'll even, oh, it's fine. It's completely fine. Probably gonna need a trash can for this. But anyway, we're gonna wash it. I put all the black walls out. You can tell by the way they are. That was a white letter. Still is, just on the inside. This guy, don't stand too close to the old coronet, because what's an SXA? Super extreme adventure. Anyway, yeah, some of them are silver. One of them was white. But anyway, the other three had the white wall out, so I put them to the inside. Oh, you're back, huh? Check it out. How's it look? Yeah, there's the white wheel. White wheels look better. When we get her on the road, we'll have to paint them. But anyway, white line's in. Looks way more gooder with $80 worth of tubes. All right, commence pressure washing. Or should we clean out the inside first, Duff says. I'll get the trash can. That is a lot of soda cans. Coca-Cola, mug root beer. Is that a Mountain Dew? Nope, nope, that's just a faded Coca-Cola. Check her out, buddy. Open that door on that side while you're over there. Or don't. All right, I'll get the trash can. Don't kick them out on the ground. Come on now, pick up after yourself. What did I just say? Oh, it's hard to find good help. Whew! Filled up half trash can. There's still some debris in there. The skid plate doesn't say anything about a V8, so maybe it's a 6-cylinder. That would be disappointment. Oh, got a couple of pens and pencils up here to fish out. Pretty much all this thing was full of was sickle sections, rivets, chain, gloves, cans, fencing staples. I have no idea what this type of torture device is here, but that's clearly what it is. Looks like it hinges in the middle there and jabs its subject. Virgil, who had it until 98, found ourselves a sediment bowl, a lock and collar for something. Found the original skid plate, or what do we call these things? The protecto plate, 1969 it is. Marvy Green from Enderlin, North Dakota. 4/17 of 69. Marvy liked green vehicles, like his last name. The original owner's manual. We'll throw those two back in the glove box. A leather wallet. What a deal. And then the Deliverance, aka Bill Murray's Caddyshack hat.
Big jobs of greasy grinding gopher guts.
Carpenter Chin said he would give me $10 to put it on. Tens of dollars.
Blow it out, I'd probably wear it.
Ugh. That's the good side.
Wouldn't be able to see the top of my head anymore.
Not so good. Yeah, camel. So apparently Virgil was a hunter. All right. Oh yeah, we found a couple other things in there. We found a tire iron, a glass cab light, a reflector. Is that made by Case? Oh, it's a KC lamp. The KC Lamp Company. It's a KC night lighter, not a day lighter. And then I found the brackets for this mirror. That's about it. We'll dig a little bit more, and then it's time to clean her out. Is cleaning vehicles tiring? You're getting lazy in your old age. All right, it's about as clean as it's gonna get with the vacuum. Oh, I did find an ice scraper. How many miles? 26,098. That must be 126. We got a set of keys. What's on the key ring? Nygaard Equipment Incorporated, Enderlin, North Dakota. The Chevrolet Sports Department? Oh, and I busted it. We're keeping that one anyway. Nygaard Equipment. And it's got like a 5-spoke in the middle there. It's not a Kreger though. Also, check this cap out. You can barely read it, but it's a Pac-Man cap. And then I think this is our 1993 license plate for the front. I think when that got ripped off, then they just started putting stickers up there. Pac-Man cap was, it's too bad she's pretty rough. Real rough. But that thing is probably worth tens of dollars. Son of a gun, there's still a bed floor in there. How about that?
How about that?
We'll do the inside next. Before we do that, let's take a look under the hood of what I guess is a 6-cylinder. I don't know where my hood opener's at, so I guess I'll have to do it myself. So yeah, maybe somebody has converted it to a V8, because that's definitely a small block of sorts. Looks like somebody nabbed the air cleaner. The 2G is free. It's got the ram horns. Somebody even put the air pump on it. So yeah, she's a pretty original-ish. No power steering, no power brakes. All right, let's get to pressure washing. Once she's cleaned up and dried out, I think we're going to pull the plugs out, because I'm sure we put a bunch of water in that carburetor, and since I found no air cleaner anywhere around, that it's probably drank some more before, so can't hurt. Look at that. Yeah, siliconed up the inspection cover on the old distributor to keep water out. And look at that, an empty coil bracket. Somebody thought they were going to fix their M Farmall with a coil. Hopefully got that running, because now we gotta find one of them. Also, look at this. She's all, ooh. She's real soft on the firewall. All the way across. Crap just sat up there on old, what do we call this thing? Virgil? Or Marvy? Or Greenie? You can see it all ran right down into here. And I think what caused that was they get a bunch of leaves and crap, and it sits in here, and there's vents that are supposed to go down, and they get plugged with crap, and that stuff's got to go somewhere, so it rotted a hole and went in the cab. You can't see it, but there's a giant hole right there, right above that hole in the floor. So she's definitely a donor pickup, if you ask me. But who knows, maybe we'll fall in love yet. All right, let's pull some plugs out. I also noticed pressure washing that these plug wires are pretty chewy. Oh yeah. Oh, those are real bad. I think we're gonna be in the market for plug wires. You guys know how much I hate spending money on these revivals, but that is just, that's not all grease. Those are shot. All right, let's get those off, get some plugs out. Well, this one's already off. Duff. These plugs look absolutely horrendous, don't they? That one was wet. Otherwise, the rest were dry, but rusty and oily. And one of them must have had water in it because it's trickling down to the floor drain. So you know, let's do the right thing and just throw a battery in it. See if it turns over, eh? Good idea. Well, I Am Groot is our battery sponsor this week. You too can be a battery sponsor at mortske.com. She's a top post, but we're missing the ground, and there's the bolt for it. So at least they put that back. So we're gonna have to find the ground strap. Battery hold down, not a problem. We got the double knot tarp strap, and I don't know what all these wires over here are for, but I think they should be hooked up to something. Hopefully they're just for the park lights and the headlight that's busted out and the marker light that's also cracked. And really, this power wire should go from the battery cable to that bus bar or stud or terminal or whatever, and then over, but they've abandoned that. So I'm gonna go find a ground. Did you get that battery cable installed? Yeah, of course you did. You're a good pup. Got my super scraper here. You get yours at mortske.com. We just put our negative cable on, and now we're gonna clean up the stamping pad at the front of the engine, see if our old green machine is numbers matching, right? If it is, it'll bring tens of dollars at Barrett Johnson. So we're gonna check that out first. 3U5. So the suffix I got on that stamping pad is 3U5. Doesn't come up as anything. But I got our narrow scraper, also available at mortske.com, cleaned off on the bell housing, and it's 3956632. Guess what that decodes as? A 1969 307. So anyway, it's probably numbers matching. I don't see the VIN stamped up here, but I can't imagine somebody would have swapped this thing with a 307. So anyway, Barrett Johnson, we're still coming for those tens of dollars when we get this thing up and restored. All right, let's hook a battery cable up. See if we get any sparkage, maybe. Any smoke? Nothing yet. Let's put the battery cable on the correct direction. Let's go hit the key, see what happens. I'm guessing there's gonna be some water shooting out of the cylinders. Just a shot in the dark. I'm hoping it's not stuck. And nothing. We do have power in here. Well, what was lighting up down there? And the fuel gauge went to the moon. Oh, we should probably take the fuel hose off. Brake. The brake light comes on. That's what it is. Radio? Nope. No radio. So let's do a little wiring diagnoses. Conveniently, Dirt Reynolds is in here getting wiring diagnosis as well, because the battery goes dead after about 2 days. Let's hope it ain't a starter. So there should be a purple wire coming from the key. It goes down to the starter, and that's what cranks it over. Hopefully there's a starter on it. Maybe we got a bad connection. Could be a lot of things. I'm sure it doesn't have anything to do with this purple wire just hanging out here either. Maybe that's how he was starting it. See what happens when I touch that to power. Nope, no cranky crank. So I got the headlight switch on. As you can see, no headlights. And this wire right here powers up basically everything in the cab. And you can see she's a little green. So maybe if we Fix that. We'll get some power. Who knows? Let's give it a whirl, see what happens. All right, stripped our wires back. Put ourselves a new crappy butt splice in there. Even cleaned up the battery cable end. Now, let's see what happens. I don't have much faith. And still nothing. Let me show you something on these things. You know how it got all wet by the firewall? Well, these things are notorious for getting all fuzzy on the fuse panel. And of course, all that water running down the dash. Couldn't have helped that. Let's take a look. It's funny because we are getting some power to the ignition switch. Limited. And that's the other thing, is that water is running right below the ignition switch where my dead Cyclops is. Hold on, let me get a fresh one. There's our key. There's the rust hole on the floor. So I can't imagine that connection on the back of the key isn't all rusty and corroded and everything else. But yeah, check out that fuse panel. I mean, it doesn't probably do it justice on the camera, but all of those posts on all of those terminals are rusty. Even though I don't believe the ignition switch or the purple wire are fused. It's been damp in here a few times. I was trying to figure out why everything down there was all muddy. Well, yeah, water's been running in here for years. Oh, and we got ants in our pants too. Loser switch is wired up to the solenoid, the purple wire, on the inside by the block. Let's give it a tap, see what happens. Son of a biscuit. Bad ground, bad starter, bad loser switch. The loser switch is loose, don't worry. Fixed it. Maybe. Son of a biscuit. The saga continues. So the Gutless 307 has this belt-driven smog pump, air pump, which comes down here, pumps air into the exhaust manifold, so that plumbing gets in the way. And the spark plug wires are in the way, so I cut those off because check these things out. This is probably the worst set of spark plugs I've ever seen. They just kind of turned into glue, melted. Anyway, we'll worry about plug wires once we get it turning over. So now I guess I'll start playing with battery cables and whatnot. Fun times. Fun times. You don't suppose it's that loose ground cable? Couldn't be. Hate to say it, but our luck with starters is run out. So we got new ground cable, ran a new power cable. We're bypassing everything with our loser switch. Let's double check this. Maybe we didn't have power where I had hooked up. Nope, still nothing. It's got to be the starter, right? I checked the battery. The battery's got all the voltages. Like I said, we got new cables here and here, and we got this one just powering the one in the cab, but we're not even using that unless we get a bad loser switch. I suppose we'll try a different one of those because I really don't want to pull that starter. The problem with the starter on this thing, or on most manual GMs, is instead of 2 bolts going vertical up into the block, they got 3 that go into the bell housing, and they're all cast iron and not cast aluminum, and they're heavy and they're clunky and they're awkward and they're a pain to get started, and then you can about imagine how greasy this thing is underneath. So we're gonna give her the loser switch test, and then it's the starter removal game, and then we'll get it out on the bench and miraculously it'll just work fine. Super excited. Good thing is we got the bumper jack over here to make working on it easier, because that lift is full and it's raining outside, and that one's kind of preoccupied too. Kicking it old school. Here you go, loser switch number 2, wired up. You can tell it's wired up. By the way, the light lights up. You know how excited I am about that. All right, it's already up in the air, so I'll unhook the battery cable and we'll pull the starter off. It's been a while. I'm excited. No, I'm not. Oh, I didn't get her too bad. Look at this grimy cork sucker here.
As you can see, we are soaking all the corks in this room right now.
I think we're gonna pressure wash this thing and then send her to Mojo Rehab. Look at how rusty that thing is in there. She ain't spun in a while, so I'm guessing that might be part of it. But we're gonna get her wet once again with the pressure washer, because nobody wants to work on something like that. Not even Mojo. All right, she's all pressure washed up. Oh, I need a bath. You always need a bath. Let's see what the electrical master is up to. Look at this Harbor Freight winch shut off switch. That'll fix our battery drain. Because instead of fixing it right, like the rest of the car is not, this matches way better. Now we'll just forget to turn that off, and the battery will be dead anyway. Ready to rebuild a starter? All right.
Yep.
We got her all cleaned up for you. Ready to go.
That's kind of nice of you.
Yeah, I'm a gentleman and a scholar. It was greasy on the outside, but rusty on the inside. See if you can work your Mojo magic on it.
There we go.
You can screw it up with the best of them?
Yeah. I can do that.
What'd you find?
Jump.
It's junk? The heck you do park this thing at the bottom of a lake?
I don't know.
You don't know.
But
It's been submerged, it looks like. So these guys did live by the Cheyenne River. And I wonder if the Cheyenne River didn't flood her out. There's continuity there, and there shouldn't be.
it shouldn't be. Okay. This is short.
She's junk.
Yep.
Mojo's chopstick says
Jump.
get a new one from Napa. Well, I guess we'll go dig through the stash, see what we can find. Maybe we should try to turn the engine over before we worry about a starter. Because if the starter sat in water, I bet the rest of the pickup did too. What do you think?
I would think so too.
That makes sense, all the mud that I found in the cab. All right, inspection covers off. Wasn't full of mouse house because I think they were drowned out. There's a little bit of grease and debris in there. You can definitely tell this thing sat underwater. Tried putting a bar on it, and it don't want a bar. It also kind of looks like the oil pan is, she's swelling up a bit. Like there's water in it that got real hard when it got below 32 degrees Fahrenheit or 0 degrees Celsius. So let's crack the drain plug and see. I don't know how long it sat in water, but if water got inside the engine and sat in there for extended periods of time, that's gonna cause us issues. Still got the old canister style oil filter though. How rounded out is the drain plug? Even more rounded now that I put a crescent wrench on it. Oh, what is this big nasty washer on there all about? All right, we're going to the old Knipex. How many gallons of water can a 307 take? Oh, there we go. It's not even coming out of their full bore. So I feel like there's probably some sludge in there blocking it. That's some clean oil, huh, Mojo?
That's pretty clean oil.
Okay. That's all that was in there. And all is all. No oil. None. Can't imagine they parked it without any oil in it. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me either. Well, let's get a bar and see if we can't get her to budge. Alright, here we go. Not happening. Absolutely not. Ooh. What let loose? Nothing. Nothing at all. I think she's bricked, as the hip kids say these days. Yep. Oh. She ain't gonna go. I'll just put the drain plug back in there. Where did the oil go though? That's interesting. And maybe that's why they parked it. Maybe they run it out of oil and it seized up. And then went through a flood. What a life. Oh wow. Marvy's led here. Since we're down here, let's see what the transmission got for oil or water in it. I mean, we already got the drain pan in the Swedish nut lathe out, so we may as well check. Oh yeah. Oh, there was a little oil in there. More oil than water at least. But that don't look like very thick oil either. I'm guessing the differential is the same story as well. I suppose if we would have just soaked them in some ATF and acetone for 24 hours, it would have turned right over. Well, good news is we don't do that around here. We lubricate hood springs when we want to. Hinges, I mean. So usually we rip into these things and determine what the problem was. This thing sat underwater was what the problem is. And I don't want to rip this thing apart because I kind of want to keep it together because, like I said, it's a kind of a donor parts pickup. We can go reference how throttle linkages should be and what manifolds it should have and stuff like that. So I don't want to take the time to rip it apart. Plus, I'm not ripping it apart so that I can rebuild it because it's a 307. And I think the 307 is, well, what did they make, like a 267 or something like that? But a 307 is the least loved small block. I think people love the 305s way more than the 307. So we're not going to rip into that. We'll leave it all together, and then we'll have a 2-barrel for parts and short water pump brackets. I think it was a short water pump. I don't even remember. We didn't really look. I will put a price and availability in the video description. It's going to be higher than most people are going to pay because this thing's a real turd, but it's worth that much to me in parts. We need a 6-lug steel wheel, for example. Go out, there's 4 of them on here. They made a bunch of different ones. It's got a regular straight steering column, floor shift. It's got bumper brackets, you know, headlight buckets, hood hinges, trinkets, stuff like that. Door handles, window regulators, wire harnesses. There's a lot of good pieces here. I wouldn't want to build this pickup. The rust in the firewall is an absolute, like, if this thing would have ran and drove, I'd rock it, but I'm not going to swap an engine into this pickup because we know it needs brakes. We know the transmission has had water in it. We know there's going to be electrical gremlins because all the wiring got soaked, so we're not going to rip into it. Let's see if we can get the tailgate closed though, because that'll make it look so much nicer in the shop if the tailgate shuts. First thing we're going to do is get this chain out of here. We'll gain a chain out of the deal. Maybe we won't get a chain. Here you go. You can have it back now. Thank you. We're not going to be able to use this tailgate for donor straps because they're broke. Hey, look at that. I think it even latched. It probably won't ever come open again. You thought the rest of the pickup was hailed out. Look at that tailgate. Just so many waves. Dang. Mashed in on the top and wavy and rusty. I think I'd even let somebody make a tailgate bench out of that thing, and I despise the tailgate benches. I think that's gonna wrap her up. Chin and I did talk about throwing her behind Bernie and one of us running the clutch and dumping the clutch, but it's just gonna put flat spots on the tires and waste my time and his and yours and Bernie's and burn gas. Yeah, there's no hope for the 307. The clutch would probably either slip or the tires would slide on the gravel. So not a good idea. I think that's gonna wrap her on this thing. Short video, but you just can't win them all. If this thing was in a lot better shape, I'd think about pulling it apart and putting a different small block in it, but it's not. It's not my favorite year. The least desirable of the transmission options to me is the 4-speed. It doesn't have disc brakes. The tires are garbage. The brakes are going to be garbage. We don't have a title. The firewall's rusty. The list goes on and on and on. This thing is just, it's a good donor pickup. And I don't even know what good parts there are, but we'll find something along the way. So, all right. I think that's going to wrap her up. So, even Duff bailed on me. Remember, it doesn't matter how you get it done, as long as you're having fun. Dragging stuff home it's fun. I love it. That's why we do it. All right, on to the next one. Can't forget my new chain. Oh, and my Knipex. All right, so I got this pickup from a scrap guy, and I got 2 pickups from him. The other one's a Ford. I'm not sure of the year. 67 to 69, if I were to guess. Looks like it's got marker lights, so 68, 69. Anyway, I feel like it was flooded as well. So you guys I should have got 2 Willet runs out of it, but you guys are gonna get 2 Willet runs out of it in one video. So this thing is boxwood green. It's like one of my favorite colors of that vintage. Super cool color. Looks like she was last tagged in 01. So I've been sitting for 23 years, about the same as the other one. It didn't come with the wheels and tires, so I scrounged some of those up. It's full of crap. And you can tell it's had water in it because it's got that same mud in it, and everything's rusty in there. I don't know what any of that stuff is, but look at that. This guy was she's ripe in here. She was a player. Yeah. Oh, and the cab was tied into the half cab, which is pretty gross. Duff. I feel like the water was real high up to there. Check out the shag, Duff. So what we're gonna do on this thing after we walk around it is we're gonna lift it up in the air, put wheels and tires on it, and then we're gonna put a bar on the engine. I think it's a V8, and maybe this one's the 6-cylinder, the other one's V8. I don't know. See if it turns over, and if it don't turn over with a bar, she's gonna be for parts. Oh, look at that. The old amp gauge is even full of water. Who's this guy up here? What is that? Old Blackjack at AOL. Jim Benton licensed. I don't know. Again, we don't really have any 67 to 72 Ford parts, so snatch this guy up. There's a headlights around. We'll hang on to that. I can't even imagine how much stabbing took place in that thing. She's got a lot of hooies. It's a lot straighter than the Chevrolet. So, oh, got one Ford mud flap. It's a custom package. Looks like it's got an auxiliary tank down there. I bet that got full of water. Otherwise, we could use it on our 71 4-wheel drive. It's also got the tank up here. Yeah. What do we got? What is that, a tack? Oh, that's pretty cool. Got the old black velvet keychain. It's got an aftermarket delay wiper set up on it. Is this another tack over here? Oh, the Econo Master, the Gas Master vacuum gauge. CB radio, of course. She's a 4 on the floor. Got the wood Brody knob, or the wrist rocket, or the knuckle buster, or the wrist breaker, or the Brody knob, or there was a pile of other names that I missed. But people had all kinds of them. The bearing is shot, and the steering column there, she's rough. Doors shot way better than Chevrolets though. Somebody's already fixed some rust down here in the dog leg. The radiator was laying in the bed. Old DB's gonna have his work cut out cleaning this son of a gun up. We got no Duff, so we gotta open the hood ourselves. Oh, did somebody say hood? Don't worry, got it myself. Sure enough, little 302. They didn't steal a coil off this one. No power steering, no power brake. What are the odds? Not good. Not good at all. Look at this though. This is not factory. This thing was in a pretty heavy front end collision. You can see where they spliced the frame right there. And they beefed her up with some rectangular tubing. Oh yeah, she's cut right there too. This thing was stout. Marvin Heenmeyer apparently owned this. And old Marvin's muffler shop did both frame rails. Things to look for when you buy old pickups. Also, be sure to ask the previous owner if it was in a flood. So they must have stuck a whole different front clip on it at that point if the frame was that bent. Obviously the hood's a different color. Let's check the dipstick chimney. Oh yeah. And who'd have thought? Way over full. Look at this. They even put silver paint on the old Ford on the valve cover. And look at that. Did the air cleaner. #1. Oh, it's got a name. It's old Betsy. Betsy #1. I like how the Ford's in quotation marks. Silly cowboys. All right, it's got the telehandler and lift her up, throw some wheels and tires on it, and see what size bar we need to put on the crankshaft. Thankfully, they left us 5 lug nuts there, 5 there. Ooh, this one's got a wheel. And 0 there. Yeah, no way that turns. Guess we're gonna have to get the old torch to the brake drum to get that one turning. This one turns though. Perfect. That's how you know the fuel tank is shot. When water runs out of it when you lift her up in the air. Oh, it even had a sight gauge built in. What a deal. Well, the rear end's stuck. We got both brake drums cut loose. It still won't turn, so it could be in the transmission, but I'm guessing that rear end is lower than the transmission. Got full of water, got rusty. We're just not going to be a roller. Disappointing. If we really wanted to get crazy, we could pull the drive shaft and the axles and the center chunk, but I don't need it to roll that bad. As you can tell, I got equipment. Well, there's still a sticker on the oil pan. I should have set her down a little further. Yeah, I don't know what else to tell you. She was sitting in the dirt over there. Got the twice pipes with glass packs. That fuel tank's pretty heavy duty. It'll hold the weight of the whole pickup. It's even got not 1, but 2 drain plugs in it. I wonder who built those. It's a pretty nifty little design. Looks like it bolts through the bed floor. Apparently, I don't see any brackets to the frame. Oh, look at that plumbing though. Whew. That is some high-tech stuff there. And a 9-inch with a shock ripped off. With both shocks ripped off. Really, it ain't a terrible pickup. We'll rod down here below the cab corners on both sides, but cab supports get pretty soft on these pickups. And this one's pretty soft. Passenger side looks a little bit better. Looks like the rear main seal was leaking on old Betsy. Yeah. Not too bad. So body-wise, this pickup ain't too bad. Mechanically, not so good. But that's what happens when the old river, the Cheyenne, runs right through your pickup. We'll get her cleaned up and see how she looks after that. Right, Duff. Maybe you want to get cleaned up. Not likely. Dirty old shop dog. Look at this. Almost missed it. John Deere green diff. And we got ourselves a nice spotlight there for hooking up the trailer or something. I don't know. Don't you hate it when people lurk around you with their phone on and their backpacks?
Yeah, they suck.
I almost forgot to put a breaker bar on the engine, but I got a feeling I know how this is gonna go. What size are you? 15/16? Not that big. Just right. 15/16, sure enough. But the big dog, what is this, 30-inch? We've broken several of these. Thanks, Gear Wrench, for sending us new ones. I don't know why they break, but I didn't put a bar on them, I swear. I didn't, actually. And we're tightening the bolt. She's stuck. Sorry, 302. We tried. Tech tip of the day, if you're ever buying a car anywhere remotely close to water, ask them if it's been in a flood, because that can be a real bummer. DB's getting her cleaned out. First load of crap. Look at this headliner with speakers in it. But wait. Oh yeah, checkered flag. Because old Betsy was a winner. AAA winner at that. What kind of antennae adapter is that? He's got the inside pretty well gutted out. A little bit more to go. Oh, we didn't even see the T-handle shifter. Look at that hot rod. Look at all them switches under the dash. Who knows what kind of sex lights those are hooked up to. Let's get this hideous topper out of here. I got a fun way to do that. This guy right here. Dang, that's solid. That's the money shot. Come on. Oh, I was hoping she'd stay in one piece. There's even some steel in there. Whoops. Chin said to stop. There were some wires. Those were real strong wires. Alright, we'll go recycle it, Greta, just for you. What did you bring to work today?
Oh, I found a friend.
That's a clown.
On a 2x4. Just like you.
2x4. Nailed it.
What's to do with that sock? Yeah. Oh, that's got a lot of untold stories.
Oh, it does have a sock on the bottom.
Why is it so apart?
Oh, is there any
I didn't find any mixed
Def Leppard on there? Dang it. And Motley Rue. Motley True? Motley Erie?
Yeah, Molly Erie.
A roofie bottle. Trucker bomb. Ooh, that's a good Mountain Dew back in the day. Barnesville Potato Days. Friday and Saturday, August 25th and 6th, 2000. The Spud Line and the Spud site, potatodays.com. Oh, all the cup holders.
This one had one.
And you got a spot for your smokes.
Right?
And a little ashtray up top.
Ooh, yeah.
Spare fan belt, squeegee. Oh, yes! That was literally the best part of this whole pickup. Wonder where the brand new rear window is at. That's what I want. Really getting there. Duff, what do you think? Check her out. Find anything good in there? Lots of smells. Oh yeah. Smell the dash. Smell that been a lot of other snorting going on in the dash of this thing.
So many dusts.
No doubt. Lines for days. Oh, you in a predicament. Oh, turns around on a dime.
Tinted windows even.
Oh yeah. You can tell by the purple hue and how it's lifting.
Topper had it doubled up like that.
Oh, there was no double wrapping going on in the topper of this thing, believe me, boy.
Zero wrapping.
Oh, we can do some body work. Got it. That one's gonna need a little more. Well, you enjoy. You gonna take those home? Thinking about it. Let's take a look at the old F100 Duff. DB got her cleaned up pretty good. He did find a couple marker lights, cup holder, trim for the headlight. I don't know. I don't know if we really want to keep this one. We'll probably list it down below, but anyway, let's take a look. These are the wheels I got in Wisconsin from a fan. Said his buddy picked these wheels up. Anyway, so on and so forth. I got a pile of these wheels, and they cleaned this thing up good for the Facebook Marketplace, don't you think, Duff? Anyway, it's a roller now. Well, not a roller. It sits up on its own. Interior even kind of cleaned up, semi-presentable. And not having a back window will hopefully help the smell. Oh no, freaking mice. Got above the headliner and got that rusty. I've never seen that on one of these Fords. But yeah, this thing, man, if it could talk with all the switches and the CB radio and the shift handle and the name on the hood and the half cab and the clown that he found in the back. She's a real good parts pickup. So I guess if nobody buys it, we'll just keep it for parts. But it'd be a tough one to build or get back on the road. But maybe not. I don't know. I would definitely suggest finding a drivetrain. I don't know. The more I look at it, it ain't that bad. The driver's side ain't too bad, huh, Duff? Warning. If you value your life as much as I value this truck, don't mess with it. Oh my. Betsy was an angry individual. The Brody knob, the wiper delay, the black velvet keychain. Dang, if this thing could talk, it would probably be screams. Looks like we need to put a tube in that tire, Duff. The old Stratos all season is not holding up. Does that already have a tube in it? Nope, no tube. Dang it. We just can't win. Boxwood green trucks you can win, though. All right, there you have it. Price and availability. I'll put a price on both of these Chevys. Or both these green pickups. Wonderful flood victims. No titles on either of them. Price and availability in the video description. Hit us up, mortskerepair@gmail.com if you really want to own them. Yeah. Word to the wise. Check to see where the vehicle location is and the proximity to large bodies of water that could cause copious amounts of water to go through your drivetrain and ruin your 9-inch and your 289 and your small block Chevy and all that stuff. So thank you very much for watching. Duff and I and Chin and Mojo, we all appreciate it. It's people like you that watch, comment, share, like, subscribe, all that good stuff that allows us to drag this stuff home and make this subpar content for you. Also, go check out the merch. Mortske.com. We got caps, we got t-shirts, we got sweatshirts, we got beanies, we got magnetic koozies and screwdrivers and banners and decals and tire pressure gauges and coolers. You name it, we got it. If we don't got it, you don't need it. So that also supports our junk habit as well. So thank you very much for watching. Check out our other videos. Remember, doesn't matter how you get it done, as long as you're having fun. Dragging pickups home is fun. Finding out they're seized up from being flooded, not so fun.